Alrighty, welcome to the first little tutorial video of Axis Zero. Just going to show you in the brand new sandbox and sandbox mode how to do some basic things with the gravity mechanic and how to practice them. I just feel like it is something that's going to take a little bit of time to getting used to, so let's just go ahead and take some time to get used to it. So the first thing, very simple concept. I'm going to get into one of these tunnels so that we don't have to worry about these guys. They're not really a hassle, but let's just not worry about them in general. So I'm going to point to where I want to go, and I'm just going to click middle mouse button, and that is going to change gravity to be facing that way. It'll change all of the gravity. As you can see, that is now what forward is, and it acts as such. This, not forward. If I want this to be forward, I go ahead and hit E, and now I'm sort of flat, if you will. I've changed gravity to be below me. And this is a good place to practice that, just basic, one of these tunnels. You just face the wall you want to be down, you click middle mouse button, and then now that is down. Very basic. Again, I'll do it again. Hit middle mouse button. That wall is now down. You can go straight up, do the exact same thing. That is now down. Be aware you cannot look directly up or down. It is at 89 degrees, not at 90. So it's never going to be perfect if you're going straight up and down. But if I were you, I would expect to never really care about what's the real up, what's the real down, and how that affects anything. The other mechanic that I showed you earlier, how I flattened it, is about the same, is with E. So E makes it such that your perception of down is gravity's down. So if I look straight up and I hit E, that means that, boom, that is down. So now this is what down is. Does that make sense? I'll do it a couple of times so you can see it, right? You look one direction, you hit E, and now that is down. And that just gives you a little bit more control over your ability to move around and stuff. And by the way, I want to be oriented differently, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that again. Nope, I'm going to do this again. Boop. There we go, and now the world is back as I want it. So I'll hop out onto this cone real quick so we can do the rest of it from out here. But the big thing, oh, hello. I got hit, but I didn't lose any life. Sandbox. So the big thing that I want to show you now is one of the tricks I have found is pointing where you want to go and then using E to stabilize yourself when you get close. So it's very simple. If I want to go to, let's say, that cube right there, I will aim a little bit above it. I will hit middle mouse to go there, and then I'll angle it, and then hit E right in front of it. Now I've kind of just made gravity push me down, and I dead stop right on the thing. And this can help in a majority of places. I usually like to jump first, but we'll get to that in a minute. But if I want to go up here, I hit that, go that direction, and then I'll hit, whoops, messed that up. Well, it'll be easier from here. So let's do the rappel. I'll show you that later. So we want to go over there. So I above it, I'm going that direction, and then I hit E right before it, and I land on it. Right? And you can do the same when going into these, right? So gravity is technically facing the wrong way, and then I hit E and it goes there, right? So gravity is going to take me where I want to go. I'm essentially falling. It feels like flying, but I'm essentially falling. I'm looking straight down, and then I hit E when I get there, and I stop. And I highly recommend when going through the simulator itself that you practice getting to these tunnels from each other and stopping in them. Give yourself a chance to look at where you're going and then hit the grav switch so that you can, it's probably not the best idea to fall full speed through a tunnel. That's going to give you no time to adjust for anything in the room that you're going into. And the other side of that I find very beneficial is if it's at an angle. Remember, you can hold E, and that will allow you to continuously make that down, right? So that's not really something that skill necessarily is not something you need all the time. But I use that a lot when I'm going into these tunnels from a lower surface. And technically speaking, anywhere that I go, the tunnel will be above me because, well, I mean, it might not be, but still. So if I'm down here, there we go. If I'm down here and I want to go into that room there, I'll hit, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit gravity to take me that direction. And then when I get close, I'm going to press and hold E and angle the camera down to be the flat that I'm looking for. That's what I'm doing. So watch, middle mouse, orient, get close, hold E and angle down while I'm holding E, and that gets me to flat. It happened kind of quick. So let me find another spot over here and I'll do it again. Orient it the way I want it, hold E, and there you go. Now, it's still a little bit of an angle. Again, get used to things not being exactly perfect. we're messing with gravity. It's never going to be exactly perfect. Let me do it one more time, because again, that's a skill that really, really, really comes in handy, is being able to right yourself immediately. So I'm going to aim a little bit above where I want to be, get close, hold E, orient, and let go of E. Just like that. That is something you'll want to keep track of, being able to hold E just for those little adjustments. And you can see I'm holding E right now. You can see the zero is not moving. The pitch indicator is not moving. I can do this eternally, and it will really mess with things with my head. So you can go ahead and fix it. Okay. So that's that. Now the other one that I want to talk to you about is momentum. So if you've played it all, I'm sure you noticed that when you hit the grav switch, your momentum doesn't stop. That makes things very difficult when you're trying to get somewhere specific. You're going to have to really figure it out. So the important thing with this is control and understanding when and where to hit the grav switch to do it. So if I wanted to, for example, go directly through that straight, the skill that I have been honing is jumping first. And I know that sounds easy, but if you jump, there's a crook of your jump, there's the top of your jump, crux, whatever. That's the top of your jump. At the top of your jump, you have no momentum. At that point in time, you can hit the gravity, and you'll basically be going from flat. Does that make sense? So again, if I want to get like a little bit above something, a better vantage, or if I want to go, for example, to that sphere from here. Okay, that's a really bad example. But the point is, you can to get a better angle on something, you can jump and then hit it to get where you're trying to go. And I like to, if I want to make sure I'm stopping on something immediately, you can look right at it and hit middle mouse button as well. You don't have to always look above it and hit E. You just find the thing that works best for you. Right? So if I want to go here, I can angle where I want down to be, look that way, and then I'm ready to go flat on this platform. So that's another one of those skills that you can practice. I mentioned holding E as part of just being able to get around and stuff. The fact that you can hold it and make adjustments, that really comes in handy on the spheres and cones. So if I were to walk forward, this is what flat is for me. I walk too far forward, I fall off the sphere. Not necessarily the ideal situation when I want to be on this sphere for one reason or another. So what you're going to do is you're going to face a little bit under what flat would be, hold E, walk, and just keep looking down. As long as you can see the sphere, it's going to be under you, and you can essentially keep yourself on it. This is really good for positioning, right? So this guy here, as he's shooting at me, shoot at me. Oh no, it's going to get me. Oh no, it's going to get me. I got by that, right? Not great. I got a guy over there too. He can probably hit me, can't he? Is he going to hit the bottom one first? All right, so that's not as much of a threat, but he is. And I could deal with him right now, but let's pretend there's a lot of targets around me. That's going to be dangerous. So instead of flailing about and trying to get to a different spot, knowing this is where I want to be, I will just hold E and walk around the ball. Now, well, all right, now all of the targets that are here can't get a good line on me. That guy's got a pane of glass in his way. I can't even see him. That one's way over there. And so that's just another skill to get used to, is being able to just walk around these spheres like that. You can try it on the cones as well. The cones are going to be a little different because they're not exact. Even if you get it on the flat, eventually you're going to get to a rounded point, but you can absolutely do it there as well. And just get used to doing that kind of thing. That'll help. So the other thing that will very much help you out, and I'm not going to tell you why, but there is a pretty legitimate reason why this is a good skill to have, and that is to shoot while you're falling. So if I am going to get that guy right there, I think there's a pane of glass in the way, so it won't really do anything for me, but I'll jump, I'll fall, and while I'm falling, I'm just going to keep shooting at him. Generally speaking, if you're going between these tunnels have not moved, by the way. So in the sandbox, these tunnels are in the exact same places that they would be in the actual game. So that is a one-to-one. There's no difference there. So if you are aimed at one and you go that way, you will always face that way. And then you might just want to practice being able to shoot at something while you're falling, while gravity is pushing you in another direction. I'm not going to tell you why, but there is a very good reason as to why you should be able to do that. And you'll hopefully see it as you play through the game. But it's a good thing to practice, right? Being able to say, as I'm moving, I'm going to hit. A lot of that is trust in where you're going, right? So if I don't even know where he is. I'm assuming up there somewhere. So if I know I'm going to this platform and I don't hit WASDA while I'm falling, I can take that entire time to reorient, find my target, and take it out. And I know I'm going to land here because that's where I was aiming. That's where I'm going to land. So don't think of the gravity switch as directional. Think of it as a pinpoint, right? If I know I want to go to that sphere, I click it. And now if I don't move, I know I'm going to go to that sphere every time. That's what's going to happen. If you get hit, that might change things. Try not to get hit. Focus on where those are coming from and stop that. Another fun, interesting thing that I've learned is the rappel. I have 2 ways to do this. So I'm going to get to this guy here. And I'll just make this flat. So I've got 2 ways. I call it the rappel because if you can imagine a rock climber or someone going down a cliff, right, or down a tall structure, whatever, they'll have something stuck to that. Leave me alone. They will have something stuck to that surface, and they will, in one way or another, go down. And although gravity is still affecting them the same way because they're in a world where you can't change gravity, this situation, you can change the gravity to get you where you want to go. So I have a surface here. This is mostly useful in the boxes, but it'll also help in other situations, such as the glass. It's a little more intense on glass, but you can make it work. And it basically looks like this. I want to be on the other side of this. So I'm going to look straight down. I'm going to walk off the edge, fall for a second, and hit E. Now I'm over here. And I know that sounds very basic, but it's not a thing that you think of all the time because you're trying to, move around. The key to this game is positioning, positioning, positioning. The better you can control where you are, where you want to go, and your, relative location compared to your target, the better. So again, I'll just do that one more time. Get to the thing, get to the end, look forward, fall for a second, hit E, and now I'm there. There's another way to do this. If you want to keep an eye on your target or something, you can get up to the edge of it, look backwards, fall, and when you see what you want, you just hit middle mouse button. Same exact thing, right? You're still using that to get to the other side there, but you can move around. So these are just a couple of basic skills to get you where you want to go in terms of, the gravity mechanic, using the ZeroDrive. I'll give you a little bit of the lore there. Yeah, using the ZeroDrive, which is going to be a difficult thing to do. So just know where you want to go and how you want to be oriented when you get there. It's good to separate those 2 things and just kind of plan ahead. The more you think, I want to go that direction, well, if I keep going this way, I'm going to hit the floor. So now I have to redirect in the air. Redirecting in the air is not fun. You can do it, but it's not fun. So it's best to know where you want to go and get there. Now, let's go ahead and that is effectively the end of this training. If you feel good about this or you want to go play around, feel free to do that. But let's just do that in some live fire training real quick. So let me take out this last target here. It'll spawn some more. In the sandbox, the waves continue to spawn the way they do in-game. So you can play through this infinitely. There will be nothing other than dummy rounds and dummy targets. The platforms will respawn on every multiple of 5 waves. Every 5 waves, you will get new platforms. So have fun with that. And I will just show you what that looks like. Let me clear out these bad boys. We should get to wave 5, and boop, they all respawn. So, and you'll continue to get more and more. That'll just keep going forward. There is a score. You can count it if you want, I guess. And that's how it works. But like I said, in this sandbox, when you get hit by any of these dummy rounds, you do not take damage. The floor is still lava, but you will not, you will not take damage. Boop, no damage. You can run along the wall. Boop, boop, boop. You're not taking any damage. You can't die in here. It's impossible. But yeah, this is a decent place for you to come and learn and practice this use of the ZeroDrive. It's complicated. It makes sense. This is not something that people ever deal with in anything else, which is something I take pride in. So, enjoy.